So for those of you who followed last night's game plan, along with the curriculum it is that I used to trade, you should have had a phenomenal green day. I made it very clear that the SPY was going to have a bearish trend day. As long as we are staying below 585, it's going to have a massive flush. In terms of the levels in that situation where I would be interested in buying call options, it was at 577 using the break and retest strategy, and also below that level, buying call options at key oversold support. Using the strategies in last night's game plan, I ended up going 3 for 3 on the day with call options. 3 wins in a row, and then towards the power hour trading session, I had 1 YOLO trade that was a loss. In terms of G-Roar, he ended up having 6 wins in a row, and then 1 trade at the end of the day that was a loss. As a collective, as a whole, we ended up going 9 for 11, making multiple 100% profit returns. For those of you who used last night's game plan, going red on the day is your own personal choice. We absolutely crushed it. In terms of today's overall game plan, we're going to get straight into the money-making analysis, the money-making information. The market is setting up for another predictable, lucrative trading opportunity heading into tomorrow. And then in terms of the end of this video, I'm going to break down all the trades that we ended up making. Let's get straight into the money-making analysis. So, in terms of the SPY, this is what I want you to be aware of. We discussed in terms of last night's video how the red, green, red pattern was setting up on the SPY, and then surely enough, red, green, red has set up once again. Now, in terms of what can happen in this particular situation, when the SPY has the red, green, red, we can potentially have another bearish trend day. As you can see in terms of the pattern, the red, green, red, and then we have a bearish trend day. And now we have the red, green, red once again, then we have a bearish trend day. Now, in order for the SPY to be a bearish trend day heading into tomorrow, this is what I'm going to be looking for. There's going to be multiple levels to be buying put options. And I'm going to be breaking down the daily chart foundation in terms of what it is that I'm looking for, right? So going back throughout the daily chart history, this is one pattern that caught my attention. As you can see, the SPY ended up having a massive gap down, and then it formed this red trend reversal candlestick. And then the next day, it ended up gapping up and selling off once it filled the gap, going back towards that previous closing price. So in terms of this overall daily chart pattern, as you can see, we ended up closing at 572.71. Right now, we're sitting at 574.10. If the SPY gaps up, there's going to be multiple levels where I'm going to be waiting very strategically for a bearish or a trend reversal 30-minute candlestick overall confirmation. So for gapping up, in terms of the key levels for put options that I'm going to be keeping an eye on, the first level is going to be this breakdown in retest level, which is the inverse, the opposite of the breakout in retest level. So in terms of that level, it's going to be right around here. As you can see, the support right here on the 30-minute chart towards this 577 level. Once it cracked, we never really spiked back up towards 577. So that's going to be a key level of interest where I'm going to be watching put options towards that mid 577 range. Now, if we went back to the previous closing price at 583 with a very strong gap up, that would likely only happen if we had a massive gap up heading in tomorrow. I would just auto buy puts at 583 using the gap close reversal trading strategy to buy puts at 583 with the daily chart foundation. Now, in terms of the lower level that I have for put options, it's mainly based off of measuring the daily chart with the 1-minute chart on today. So in terms of the 1-minute chart, you can see right here, we had support here for about 2 minutes towards this 574.50 level. Once the SPY cracked the support, we never really retested until the extended hours. So if I'm seeing strong resistance at this previous support right here, so it did end up retesting during the extended hours, and it is already trying to drop from that level. So if I'm seeing a strong bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmation at 574.50 to 575, I'd be willing to try puts. Those are the 3 levels to watch for. 583 is the auto buy level, very unlikely to hit unless we have a massive gap up. 577 range is going to be the middle level, and then 574.50 to 575 is going to be the make or break level. If it's reacting bearish, I'm going to try puts there, right? In terms of pattern recognition and measuring the overall moves on the daily chart, this is what I wanted to bring awareness to, right? So in terms of the overall daily chart pattern and what can potentially happen, you can see right here, when this daily candlestick ends up forming right here, and we have more of a small gap up, it tops out towards the opening. So I'm telling you, in terms of where we close 572.71, if we're opening up with a smaller gap up, I'm going to be eyeing the 575 to 577 range for puts on a smaller gap up, and then it's going to try to flush and attempt to crack below the previous day lows, right? In terms of how this can play out again in terms of another daily chart pattern, right? That was just comparing this daily candlestick right here to this daily candlestick right here. Looks nearly identical to this daily candlestick right here. This daily candlestick right here looks very, very similar to this daily candlestick right here, right? But you have to keep in mind we have the red, green, red pattern. So another thing that I want you to be aware of as well, again, if we're just staying and maintaining below 575 is gonna be a bearish move first. If we're just maintaining resistance at 575, is really gonna try to attempt to drop back down to the previous day lows, which is make or break support at 570.20. So as long as we're staying below 575, going to be focusing on puts first. If we go under previous closing price, that is make or break support. We can potentially bounce around previous closing price. You got to be a little bit careful because another potential outcome that can happen is if we are maintaining slightly above the previous day lows, we can have a strong bullish spike, right? So from a call perspective, in terms of call options heading into tomorrow, I mean, my main interest and my main play would be simply looking slightly below the previous closing price. So we closed at 572.70. In terms of the levels where I would be focused on call options, the best level would be towards previous day lows, which is going to be 570. But the main level that I would be keeping an eye on is like towards this 571.50, right around 571.50 to 572, right? So if we're opening up towards 575, reacting bearish, try puts at that level. If we're heading towards 577, you could try puts at that level. 583 is best level for puts. As long as we're staying under 575, it's going to be extremely bearish first. If you're seeing strong bearish confirmations at 577, try puts there as well. And just to understand, the make or break support level is going to be towards this 571.50. If we're reacting bullish, right, with a strong oversold reaction and bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmation, going to be buying call options towards 571.50. Now, in terms of like a major sell-off to occur, in this situation where if we go under 570 and it's going to have a major sell-off, for that to happen, we need to stay under like 575. So if we're staying below 575 and then we crack 570, it's going to be a massive flush, right? But if we're going to the higher levels, it's not going to have that massive flush till we hit the higher levels, and it's likely not going to crack those previous day lows. So as long as we're staying, what I'm telling you is the main opportunity for the bears in terms of like going under 570, they really need to stay under 575. If we're staying below 575 and then 570 gets taken out, is going to go super bearish. And then in terms of the levels to go super bearish is going to be towards that 567. There's a gap to fill below at 567. So as long as we're staying below 575, and then if you see a break below 570, spike back up, reacts as a resistance, you're seeing previous day lows getting taken out, then we're selling off hard into 565 to 567, and I'm not too interested in calls towards those levels unless there's some sort of bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmation only into the close. But overall, man, just understand, man, is really gonna try to sell off in that sense, so just be aware if we stay below 575 and we go under 570, then we're going into 565 to 567 territory, right? If we're pushing above 575, you're keeping your eyes on 577 for puts. You're keeping your eyes on 583 to auto buy puts for the gap close reversal. It's going to try to have a strong flush. And then if you're seeing 571.50 react as strong support, you're going to want to be buying call options. And an even better opportunity to buy those call options is the higher the SPY goes, the better. So if SPY was at like 583, 580, 577, if it was towards the upper range and then it quickly flushed to 571.50, is more likely to bounce first in that situation because it's having such an overreaction to the downside, right? So that's what I want you to understand, man. And as long as we're holding above 571.50, the bulls will keep trying to pump at that overall level for dip buying opportunities. The break of trend at that level where the bears take control and flush it, SPY would need to stay at the lower levels, 575, and it needs to crack below 570. And if it cracks below 570, then we go to 565, 567. That is the game plan. Make sure you write all that down. I'm telling you, if you use this information heading into tomorrow, you are going to be printing money at the speed of light. We have multiple daily chart foundations. We have all the levels combined. We know the proper times to be trading. We know exactly what to look for. Tomorrow is going to be a day where, once again, losing on the overall day is going to be a personal choice. Fridays are known for being our overall best trading days. And I'm telling you, man, this week, we've been on absolute fucking fire. That is 4 straight green days in a row with massive wins in many, many trades each day, man. Like I said, today we went 9 for 11, man. So you use this game plan, you're going to be printing money at the speed of light. If you use last night's game plan, you should have had a phenomenal green day, making multiple 100% profit returns. You should have made a couple $100. You should have made at least $1,000 at the bare fucking minimum. You know, if you're trading with, like, I would say around like 7,500 to 10,000 in your account. But you should have absolutely crushed it, man. Look at this. In terms of results, man, you guys are well aware, man. DF, very successful member within our secured private organization. And in terms of him getting results like this, it did not start off this way. In terms of him being here to get extremely consistent, it took him over a year. He stuck with it and he saw it through. His portfolio is now up 522% this year. This is a live trading Webull account, man. He ended up making $1,400 on the overall day, man. Absolutely crushing it, man. So in terms of other results, you guys remember Nick from yesterday. He absolutely crushed it once again, ended up making a $3,000 profit. I'm going to be breaking down all of the massive wins that we ended up having today. We have another member, ended up making 26% profit return on the day, man. Nick is absolutely crushing it. This past week, his account is up, 7%, ended up making $5K on the day, $16,000 profit on the week, trading options on his Robinhood account. Big shout out to Nick. Like I said, man, people are absolutely fucking crushing it, man. All of the trades are printing at the speed of light. The game plans are working to an exact fucking T. If you applied yourself to that game plan yesterday, you should have been printing money like fucking crazy yesterday. There was a strong trend reversal 30-minute candlestick confirmation pattern on the overall 30-minute chart. I'm going to be breaking down how I caught that in real time. We have another member, $2,000 profit on the day. His account's up over 22%. Straight line up, man. This secured private organization is the best investment you can make within this market, man, by gaining access to our trades, our real-time zero-day options trading alert system, and our secured private organization in our community, along trading alongside multimillionaires, man. Look at this. We had a member within the first 30 minutes of the market open. This is buying calls, man. We were buying calls in the morning. I alerted it based off of the game plan with 30-minute chart confirmation that I'm about to teach you. 15% return on the account. $1,400 profit at the speed of fucking light, man. So I'm going to be breaking down all of the massive wins that we ended up happening. First things first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over my trades and then we're going to go over G-Roar's trades. So let's get straight into it, man. So in terms of my trades, like I said, I ended up going 3 for 4 on the day. It was 3 wins in a row. The last trade was a YOLO trade, very, very small risk. In terms of, our secured private organization, everybody's well aware. When you are up, when you are green enough to walk away, 1 big win or 2 small wins in a row. If you choose to keep on trading, because we have days where we make many, many trades. There's some days where we make over a dozen trades, right? We have the highest win rate in the game doing this. Our secured private organization knows that when you're green enough, 1 big win or 2 small wins in a row, the most you risk is 25 to 50% of your profits. If you lose that 25 to 50% of your overall profits, you force yourself to stop trading on the day, because in terms of surviving in this market, you cannot be going green to red no matter what, right? So, like I said, G-Roar had 6 wins in a row. I had 3 wins in a row, following my fucking game plan. Let's get straight into it, man. 9:40 a.m., 577 SPY calls at 215 cents a contract. 9:50 a.m., I'm adding to the calls, right? So basically at break even, I'm adding at 210 cents. I'm going to explain to you why I'm in on these calls. So if you watched last night's game plan, you were well aware in terms of the SPY that if we were going to see a crash from 585, and if we stay under 585, the market was supposed to have a bearish trend day. And in that situation, I was interested in buying call options if I was seeing some sort of bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmation, right? And in terms of the levels that I was planning to buy those call options, I made it very, very clear. It was the breakdown, it was the breakout and retest strategy, right? So in terms of last night's video, I made it very, very clear that on this 570, this 577 level right here, this was a resistance, this was a resistance. We had an overreaction to the upside where once we broke above this 577 level, we quickly went to 585. So if we drop right back down, especially in an overall bullish market, I'm going to be looking for calls to be buying calls at this overall situation. And another reason why I was interested in doing this as well, take a look at this 30-minute candlestick. You see how it dropped back down to retest and reacted as support and exploded? Well, I looked at that and I went back to the 1-minute chart and I realized that that didn't really even happen in a sense, man. Look at this wick, this crazy fucking wick that ended up forming on the 1-minute chart. This is a 1-minute candle that Thinkorswim is showing 580, right, to 575. So I was using this wick as a confirmation in terms of like, if we go to 577, that's the breakout and retest level, right? But if we drop even fucking lower at a more oversold level, that's just a better opportunity to be buying calls. So I was looking at this wick on the fucking 1-minute chart with the 30-minute candlestick confirmation in the overall chart pattern, the breakout and retest strategy. I'm saying, dude, this is a fucking no-brainer. If we flush right back off to fucking 577, especially early into the day, even though SPY is supposed to have a bearish trend day, if we're staying under 585, it will likely bounce first if we're opening up at such oversold fucking levels, retesting that breakout and retest strategy for the first time. Sometimes you're going to see glitches on those overall wicks with the 1-minute fucking candles, but that helps me get an overall range for the oversold level. Oversold levels right here at 575 too. A lot of strong support at 575, right? That's why I made it very, very clear. If we're going under the level, I'm going to be even more likely to just get in. So heading into the market open, man, we were trading in the 574s, extremely oversold. We were due for some sort of spike where the SPY was going to try to spike back up into the 580s where we can look to buy those fucking puts so it already flushed. So for me, since it was so fucking early in the day in retesting the breakout and retest strategy for the first time this fucking early, it made absolutely no fucking sense to be buying put options that fucking early. I wanted my puts in the 583 to 585 range, right? I knew the overall day was going to be bearish, and if we're seeing bearish confirmations at 580, 581, you can try, but it's going to be tough in that situation, especially earlier into the day. But in terms of a no-brainer situation, if we're at the most oversold fucking levels, where I'm interested in buying fucking calls directly at market open, and we already flushed, is obviously likely going to bounce first this earlier into the morning, giving people the opportunity to buy puts towards those upper levels where we wanted to buy the fucking puts. So that's why I ended up doing SPY call options at the morning. Now, it wasn't just that. So that was preparation in terms of the game plan and confirmations. One thing I will say is, in terms of my style of trading and my personal preference, I tend to trade best later into the day, especially power hour. I'm known as the power hour trading king, right? And power hour tends to be the best time to trade 0-day options. But in terms of the morning, what I've learned about my style of trading is I mainly prefer to trade in the morning only if there's an overreaction, right? So, in terms of 585, with the overall game plan, I knew the market was going to have a massive sell-off. And I knew there was going to be some interest in terms of me buying calls at the oversold levels. So since it happened that early with this trend reversal 30-minute candlestick confirmation, I was willing to take the play. So one thing I'm telling you in terms of my style of trading is you're mainly going to see me trade in the morning if there's a massive overreaction. So if there's a massive gap up or a massive gap down like this using the breakout and retest strategy, this is one example in terms of recap my trade. This is where I tend to shine brightest in trade during the morning trading session. When there's a massive overreaction, I mean, it's just fucking common sense. If we're planning to buy puts at 585 and we quickly go to 577 at market open, we already flushed. The market already sold off. And if we're hitting key oversold levels with 30-minute candlestick confirmations that early, it's likely going to bounce first and then start to sell off. And in terms of where it's going to start to sell off, it's either going to form lower highs or it's going to retrace back to our higher levels. That's where it gets more advanced in terms of the overall entry, man. But in terms of this play, man, the 30-minute pattern was there. So 9:40 a.m., I got in directly towards the opening, towards the middle of this 30-minute candlestick. And the reason behind that was this 30-minute pattern. So in terms of this 30-minute pattern, what I was seeing was a 90-minute pattern. And this pattern has really never failed me in a sense. It has over a 90% win rate. In terms of the education, no value, I did explain to everyone within our secured private organization why I decided to take this trade. You can see right here. So the same pattern is setting up on the 30-minute chart. This is what the pattern looks like in terms of the 30-minute chart on today, right? So you have this green candlestick facing to the downside, red candlestick facing to the upside. This candle right here is recovering. So it drops first, it recovers. It doesn't have to be green, it could be red. But basically, if you look at this pattern right here, I was saying it's also a green, red, green overall pattern, clear confirmation of a trend reversal. You're well aware of the green, red, green pattern that I teach you as well, along with the red 30-minute facing down, green 30-minute facing up. So take a quick look at this, right? And then we're going to go back to this message that I repost, right? If you type in never failed in the overall community, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, because this is the overall pattern that I've created and used in terms of identifying it with my third eye, right? You can see right here, it's the same pattern. Red facing to the downside, red facing to the upside. Doesn't have to be red, it could be green right here as well. And then the next 30 minutes is supposed to be bullish. So when I saw that overall pattern at my breakout and retest level, at the oversold levels, at that 1 minute wick bottom confirmation, you can see this is posted at 11/11/2024, right? I use this same pattern every single fucking time to buy calls when it's forming at one of my key levels, when it's forming at one of my unique trading strategies, the breakout and retest, right? Previous resistance to reactive support once it breaks out, right? So with that being said, once that 30-minute candlestick was reacting that way, I was adding into the position, and I ended up exiting that trade at 316 cents, leaving 10% of the position to run, selling the rest at 356 cents, right? This is where I ended up exiting at 10:08 a.m., and then this is where I ended up selling my runners at 10:30 a.m., right? So if you go to the overall trade and you go to 577 calls, this is where I ended up getting in, like I had explained to you. I ended up getting in right here at 9:40 a.m. towards the exact lows. This is where I ended up adding basically towards my exact initial entry, right? Once there was more of a confirmation as the 30-minute candlestick was getting ready to close that way, this is where I ended up selling 90% of my position size into the 320s, right? So from 200 to 320 in that particular situation, you're looking at over a 60% profit return. And then I ended up selling the runners in the 350. In that particular situation, you're looking at a 75% return, right? That was the first trade that I made on the day, which was more than green enough. And the contracts cost a lot more than we typically pay. So in that situation, especially if you're trading a small account, you're likely going to size in a little bit bigger. So since the contracts cost more in that particular situation, that as well is another reason why it's likely best to just call it for the overall day if you had a nice 50% to 100% profit return on that, because the contracts cost a lot more than typical. So especially for small accounts, they might be sizing in a little bit heavier as well. I mean, typically if you're paying a lot more on premiums, you're likely going to be sizing in a little bit more regardless if you have a smaller, bigger account. Just something to be aware of, not that it has to be that way, right? Now, in terms of the next win, because you guys are well aware, it's just nonstop fucking winning. It's just unlimited fucking winning, unlimited fucking printing, right? I mean, if you use last game plan, if you use last night's game plan, you should have been printing money at the speed of fucking light. You should have been making hundreds of dollars, should have been making over $1,000. I mean, I use the game plan. This is what I did in terms of my personal game plan. I mean, I'd love to see in terms of here what you guys decide to do with it. I mean, this is what I did with it. I mean, I did pretty well. I mean, 75% return at the speed of fucking light. Selling these fucking call options towards the exact peak. The peak was at fucking 450. They ended up closing at 2 cents. I mean, I think I did pretty well with the call options. But anyways, man, in terms of the next win, because you guys are well aware, man, if you could just keep on fucking winning, why stop at one win, man? I mean, the most you risk in terms of your profits is 25 to 50%. If you could just keep on fucking winning, non-fucking stop, just keep on fucking winning, just keep on fucking printing, man. So in terms of the next fucking win, man, you're going to see in terms of the trade ideas, right? So I made it very, very clear. I was interested in using the breakout and retest strategy at higher levels. If there was a 1.5 breakout at the previous resistance to react to support, we were still very oversold in the morning. So I was interested in getting back in on call options, right? And then in terms of the put strategy, I was looking at the higher levels. I wanted to get in at 583. That was my bare minimum. Unfortunately, it did end up topping out lower, but G-Roar ended up calling out many, many wins at the lower levels for puts. So he absolutely fucking crushed it both ways. Going to be going over that. But in terms of my second trade on the day, I ended up buying SPY 580 calls at 204 cents a contract, right? So at 10:52 a.m., I bought SPY 580 calls at 204 cents, right? The reason why I decided to buy these calls is because we were still extremely oversold and it was still very early into the day, along with everything that I just had explained to you, right? And in terms of the 30-minute chart, if you go to 10:52 a.m., you're going to see in terms of 10:52 a.m., right? So I bought these calls towards the end of this 30-minute candlestick right here. Reasoning behind that, this 30-minute candlestick was very, very green and bullish. We were due for a little bit more upside potential. And like I said, I wanted to use the breakout and retest level, right? So in terms of the breakout and retest level, the way I used it in this particular situation on the overall SPY was buying call options using the 1-minute chart. And when I'm using the breakout and retest strategy, I like big overreactions. That's why in terms of last night's game plan, when I saw 577 to 585, I'm saying, dude, this is a fucking no-brainer. We just had a fucking 8-point move to the upside. If we have an 8-point fucking flash crash in the morning to the downside, it's going to spike first. It has to spike first, even on an overall bearish trend day. I'd be willing to take advantage of that scalping opportunity. It's too oversold. It's too early today. It has to fucking pop first, especially when it retests that breakout and retest strategy level for the first fucking time. So in terms of the overall calls at 10:52 a.m., this is where I ended up getting in on the calls. I ended up getting in right here when SPY was at 578.70. So in terms of using the break and retest strategy, these were the resistance levels. If you go to the resistance level, you're going to see right here, there's resistance at 578.30. There's resistance at 578.70. We had a nice breakout very, very quickly to 580. So we had a 2-point breakout at the speed of fucking light, and then it instantly crashed right back down to the previous resistance. That was good enough for me to get in on the calls, along with that previous 30-minute candlestick being extremely bullish, along with the market still being at oversold levels where I didn't want to potentially buy put options. I was aiming for the more higher levels, right? Now, with that being said, I ended up buying the calls at 10:52 a.m., right? So if you go to 580 SPY calls, you're going to see this is where I ended up getting in on the overall trade. So this is where I got in on the second win at 10:52 a.m. I bought the calls at 10:52 a.m. This is where I ended up getting in, right? So I got in right here at 200 cents. They quickly dropped to 170 cents. And then in terms of when I ended up, in terms of where I ended up adding to that position, I ended up adding right here at 10:59 a.m. And then in terms of where I ended up exiting that position, I sold the exact peak for a 50% profit return. I ended up trimming that trade. So I added at 193 cents. And then I make it very clear to members all the time, when we buy a far out of the money option contract, no matter what, make sure you are taking gains, ideally 50% plus, when the contracts go in the money. So when I bought these 580 calls that were basically 2 points out of the money, this was a quick scalp as well. I wasn't trying to hold for a very long period of time. As soon as they went in the fucking money, I started to sell the calls because that's just the name of the game, man. If you're buying far out of the money option contracts, you have to start taking off size no matter what the fuck you think, no matter what the chart is saying. It's very, very wise and smart to start taking off size when they go in the fucking money. And I mean, another reason to take size when they go into money, look at this. This went to 580 all the way down to fucking 577.50. That's a massive fucking drop. If we're going to shoot right back the fuck up to that previous resistance and the calls are at the fucking money, sell the fucking calls. This can drop right back the fuck down. And in terms of last night's game plan, it said the market was going to be overall bearish trend day as long as we're staying under 585. So if I'm buying fucking calls at even higher fucking levels, I ain't fucking around holding this, man. It's like I said, I say it all the fucking time. When the calls go in the money, especially in a situation like this, when we're at a fucking double top retest on an overall bearish trend day, sell the fucking calls and trim. So in that particular situation, I was selling in the money and then I was trimming as well. And I got out literally towards the exact overall peak. So in terms of that overall trade, you can see right here, man, ended up selling at 265 cents a contract, and I did trim towards the peak. If you go back throughout the chat, you're going to see that I literally trimmed towards the exact peak when the contracts went in the money as well, right? So in terms of that overall trade, it was a fucking phenomenal win from fucking 200 to 300. Selling at 265 and trimming in the money, right? So in that particular situation, you could have made a very quick 30 to 50% profit return, right? And then that's where I sold the rest at 265 cents a contract, right? Now, in terms of the final fucking win, 3 wins in a row, 3:03 p.m., I ended up buying 573 SPY calls at 116 cents a contract at 3:03 p.m., right? So in terms of this trade, you guys were well aware that I was interested in buying call options at oversold levels. So, this in a sense wasn't one of my overall levels. But if I'm interested in buying call options at an oversold level and there's a confirmation it's at a lower fucking level, then I'm more than willing to fucking take it. So let me explain to you this trade. We bottomed at 570, right? If you go to the daily chart and you just look at the overall daily chart, you're going to see there's a lot of support right here at 570. There was a gap. So what I did was I used the unique gap close reversal trading strategy that I've created, in terms of my educational company and my course, the gap close reversal trading strategy that I've created. This is what led to creating and building my secured private organization of Team Roar as well, right? So you need to be aware of that, man. Team Roar started within an educational overall company. And now we have Team Roar, zero-day options trading alert system as well. So with that being said, 570, this is a gap close reversal. This is a very oversold gap that has not been filled yet. And you can see once the gap filled right here, it started to have a reversal as well. And it's very key, strong support. So 570 is obviously a key level to buy calls, especially if I'm already buying fucking calls when we were in the fucking, today, when we were in the fucking 574s, when we were in the fucking 578s. If I'm buying calls at that higher levels and I'm seeing that I'm still interested in buying calls at oversold fucking levels. So how did I come up with the confirmation to that trade? 570 was the gap close reversal. That was the foundation, along with last night's game plan, where it was showing some interest in potentially buying calls at oversold levels, right? So I'm looking at this and I'm saying we're basically consolidating for two and a half hours. Look at all the consolidation on the 30-minute chart. There's so much consolidation. There's so much support. There's so much bottom wicks forming towards this 570 level, which is very, very bullish. If we're going to hold above that level with these strong wicks, with these strong pops for 2 fucking hours, eventually it's going to start to spike. If the bears can't take it out, it has to go up, man. It's such a strong key oversold level, and we had such a massive move to the downside. If it can't fucking crack, it has to have a big spike, right? And then along with the pattern, this is the pattern that I was seeing. We had 3 slanted red candlesticks exactly at the key level. And then another pattern I was seeing on 30-minute chart, and I talk about this all the time. If we're at a key level for calls and you're seeing a 30-minute wick like this, where it's green, it could even be red in a sense. But if the floor is above or at, you can see the floor right here is above or at the level right here, and you're seeing a 30-minute wick like this, it could be red or green, what's going to happen is the SPY is going to start to retrace towards the high of that overall wick, which was towards 575, right? So in terms of this overall trade, when I'm getting in on these calls at 3:03 p.m., which is the opening of this 30-minute candlestick, the reason why was gap close reversal was the foundation. I had interest in buying calls to oversold level. It was consolidating for 2 fucking hours. We had a 90-minute slanted red to the pattern, which is a bullish trend reversal candlestick confirmation. Right here at the 2:30 p.m. candle, we had this 30-minute wick, and if it closes bullish like this and we're holding the floor for fucking 2 hours, along with all the patterns, it's going to start to have a gap close reversal, and it's going to start to explode back up and retest towards the high of this wick, which is where it can potentially drop once again, right? So I bought those calls on the opening of the 30-minute candlestick, saying that this is going to start to retest the high of this overall 30-minute candle, and surely enough, it fucking worked, man. If you go to 3:03 p.m., you're going to see 573 SPY calls, 116 cents. Right? So if you go to SPY 573 calls at 116 cents, you're going to see, man, this is where I ended up getting in. And this was a phenomenal fucking trade. I ended up getting in right here at the exact lows. In literally just 12 fucking minutes, these fucking calls went to 195 cents. You could have made 100% return nearly in the span of 15 fucking minutes, man. It was a phenomenal fucking trade. I was trimming and I was selling towards the overall peak on that fucking trade, man. And if you set the profit stops when you're up 15%, you should have been profit stopped out right here in the mid 150 to 160 range. That is another phenomenal trade. So when you're going 3 for 3 on the day with many wins like that, bigger wins, losing and going red is a personal choice, especially if you have 1L. So right before the market closed, and you could see in terms of the language, it's different. So, let's buy, that's a high confidence play. In terms of let's YOLO, we don't do a lot of YOLOs, but if I see an opportunity, I'm willing to do a YOLO where I don't risk much of the overall gains that I made on the day, right? So on a YOLO, you can risk 10% of your overall profits if you want, 15% of your overall profits. But this was a quick trade that I ended up making on 573 calls at 108 cents at 3:55 p.m. So for those of you who don't know, if you're trading with the right broker that allows you to do this as well, you can hold SPY, not SPX, but you can hold your SPY contracts and sell them up until 4:15 p.m., right? So in terms of this overall trade, it did end up dropping first, but during the extended hours trading session, if you go to 573 calls, they ended up going into the 140s. So you could have potentially profited on that, if you held during the extended hours trading session. They did end up dropping 50% first, but we don't use stop losses. And then they did end up going to 130 cents a contract. So it could have been 4 for 4 in that particular sense if you just held the trade and got out, right? Especially if you're using the right broker. So anyways, those were the trades that I ended up making. Now, let's get into G-Roar's trades, man. So in terms of G-Roar, he absolutely crushed it on the fucking day, man. So let's get into this, man. G-Roar had 6 wins in a row. The final trade was an L. So like I said, man, went 9 for fucking 11 on a day. If you've been watching the whole fucking week, we've been on an absolute fucking tear, man. I've been seeing the same consistent members making thousands of dollars every single fucking day. Hell, if you use last night's fucking game plan, you should have fucking crushed it on the overall fucking market, man. Like I said, losing and going red is a personal fucking choice within this overall fucking market. I mean, you should be green every single fucking week once you get to this level, man. So in terms of 566 SPY puts, this was the first trade. So overall, this was a quick scalp. And obviously, you know, in terms of G1, we're not going to agree on every single trade that we make. And you can make multiple trades out of different trades, right? But he ended up going with puts in the morning, and then I ended up going with calls. I explained to you all the reasoning in terms of why I went with my calls, right? I gave you all the education behind that. Puts just didn't make sense to me. But in terms of this trade, it was a quick scalp where you could have potentially made a win if you set a profit stop. But if you go to 566 SPY puts at 9:36 a.m., you're going to see right here. So I'm going to break this down here for you. So in terms of these puts, ended up getting in right here at 65 cents a contract, right? So in terms of this overall trade, 65 cents a contract, getting in right here towards the middle of this 1 minute candlestick, and then it quickly dropped to 47 cents. And then in terms of adding, ended up adding into a loser, doubling the position size right here at 52 cents at 9:40 a.m. towards the exact lows. So in this particular situation, ended up averaging the cost down towards the exact lows. In the trade, and in terms of your average, if you followed the instructions, your average would have been in the mid 50-cent range, and the trade went to 71 cents. So if you set a profit stop, 55 to 70 is bigger than a 15% profit return. You could have made a quick win on that, getting profit stopped out right here. So in a sense, that counts as a win. Now, in terms of the next trades, this is where it gets fucking insane, right? Even if you took the L on fucking puts, you would have made a fucking killing on the calls I bought. You could have bought overall both. I mean, I explained within the chat on why I was against puts in that sense, though. That's one that I didn't want to take personally, but you could have hedged it as well and still done well. But this is where it gets fucking insane, man. Look at the next trade. 11:40 a.m. 11:40 a.m. 571 SPY puts for 67 cents a contract, right? So if you go to 571 puts at 11:40 a.m., you're going to see right here, this is where we ended up getting on the puts. Look at the difference, man. We bought these fucking puts literally towards the exact fucking lows. Right here, we're in on puts, 11:41 a.m. at the speed of fucking light without any big pullbacks getting you profit stopped out. You would have been out right here in the 150s, man. In the 150s. This goes from fucking 70 to 150s. You would have made over 100% profit return. Even if you took an L on that previous play, you still would have been green if you took my calls. And with this trade, you would have been green regardless if you didn't take the calls or not that I alerted, right? So this was a phenomenal fucking win. And this trade fucking banked like fucking crazy, man. And as you can see, 67 cents. And adding, again, this is how you win. You add to winners. In at 67 cents, adding more at 73 cents. Adding to the winners increases your position size. And the way you protect that greater position size is by setting a profit stop towards that new average cost. One small winning move in your favor, the profits are going to add up like fucking crazy. When we win, we tend to win big. So when we're up a little bit, we tend to quickly add to fucking winners. And that's going to work out vast majority of the time, 9 out of 10 times when we're adding to winners. One of the ways we increase the wins massively is by adding to the winners. We set the profit stops to protect the new average cost and the new risk we're taking on by adding to that overall trade, right? So in terms of that puts, you can see real-time 0-day options trade alert system, setting the profit stops, right? Setting the profit stops. These are the option quote prices moving in real time. Bring your profit stops up closer, right? Real-time options trade alert system explaining where to set the profit stops, where to move the profit stops up higher, where to add, right? So in terms of that trade, ended up exiting at 12:27 p.m. at 173 cents. So if you go to 12:27 p.m. in terms of where we ended up exiting this trade, you're gonna see right here, this is right here, 12:27 p.m. We exited this trade at the exact fucking peak. This is 12:27 p.m. As soon as we fucking exited this trade, 4 minutes later, it went from fucking 190 all the way down to fucking 120. Do you understand the power our secured private organization has? Do you understand how many members, how many multi-millionaires, how many traders we have that are consistently making $500 to $1,000 plus a day? Do you understand who truly runs this market, man? I'm telling you, man, it's non-fucking stop winning. It's unlimited fucking printing. You ain't gonna find another organization out there, another trader out there who is printing like us at the speed of fucking light and giving you this opportunity to trade alongside us and to grow alongside us, man. Like I said, this is the best zero-date options trading alert group in the game that you're ever going to fucking find. If you've been watching the game plans and applying it, you should be self-sufficient, making money, not even being in our overall group. Your trade should be improving like fucking crazy. If you're in our fucking group, you should be printing at the speed of fucking light, gaining a bunch of experience, especially once you start to figure out the format and how it works best for you. So, in terms of the overall next trade, you're going to see right here, 567 SPY puts for 56 cents a contract at 12:39 p.m., right? So if you go to the next overall win, this is 3 wins in a row, you're going to see right here, this is where we ended up getting the trade. So, as you can see, 12:39 p.m., this is where we buy 567 puts. We got in right here. As soon as we got in, they went from fucking 60 to 45 cents, right? And they shot up all the way to 90 cents a contract. 60 to 90 is a 50% increase. You would have been profit stopped out right here in the mid 70s once this pullback occurred. If you set the profit stops when you're up 15% plus, man. So it's unlimited fucking winning. It's unlimited fucking printing. That right there is 3 fucking wins in a row. And this is the full breakdown of the 566 strike, 567 strike, and 571 strike. All fucking puts, all fucking banked. The first one was a smaller scalp. The other 2 fucking banked like fucking crazy, man. Look at this. This is all broken down in real time. Where we're getting in, where we're fucking adding, where we're setting the profit stops, where we're fucking exiting. This is all alerted 100% strategically in fucking time, man. Look at the overall trades. Risking $13,000 on 250 contracts on 566 puts. Sold them for $16,750, making $3,400 profit. Risking $7,000 on 100 contracts on 571 puts, sold them for $17,300, ended up making $10,300 profits, right? Risking $2,600 on 50 contracts on 567 puts, sold them for $4,300, making $1,700 profit. Our max risk is what we're putting in to the overall trades. In terms of the profits, we can make unlimited profits. We have trades every single week that go up over 1,000%. Every single month, there is 3 trades that we sell for over a 1,000% return. Zero-date options give you the strongest foundation to be successful without having a high win rate. But since we're the best at what we do, we have the high win rate, which is the icing on the cake. We don't need it because the way we trade, we have a foundation where we can survive and we can be profitable without the high win rate. Think about it. If we have a 200% return on a trade, and then we have 2 trades where everything we put in expires, worthless, goes to 0, and we lose 100%, we're break even at a 33% win rate. Do you understand? We're fucking break even at a 33% win rate. Why the fuck would we give a fuck about the fucking win rate? Why the fuck would we have a stop loss? The most we put in is our max risk per trade, our multiple. Instead of getting stopped out, if our trade expires, worthless, and goes to 0, we lose on the overall trade. If we're green and we're up 15%, we set a profit stop. We add to winners to increase the winning. We move the profit stop up higher to ensure that we don't get back the bulk of our gains. We sell deep in the money with our runners. We get profit stopped out. We do the complete opposite of what everybody you fucking know of is doing. Do you understand, man? We're the fucking best. Who the fuck do you know is showing you this every single fucking day? Giving you the best fucking game plan, the best fucking trades in the fucking market. This is the best zero-date options trading company on the fucking planet. Now, if you go to all the fucking wins after this, because $15,400 on the day is not fucking enough. You just have to keep on fucking winning, man. If the heart of cards is there, if the intuition is there, if the play is fucking there, you take the fucking play, man. If you're up fucking 15K, you risk a fucking couple thousand, you make another fucking 5K. You just keep on fucking running up non-fucking stop. 568 puts did not work out. This was the only fucking out. Before this, we had 3 fucking wins. Giro had 3 fucking wins on puts. And then I had 3 fucking wins on fucking calls. Already 6 fucking wins in a row. And then we finally had the first fucking L at 2:27 fucking p.m. If you go green to red on that fucking situation, don't trade. Quit. Give up. A trade's not for fucking you, man. If you can't figure out how to be fucking successful with a 40% plus win rate, trading is not for you, man. Have the right foundation. Fuck. So we had 1 fucking L, and then look at how fucking fast we bounced the fuck back, man. Look at this. What do I tell you all the time? When we have a fucking L, when we have a dead play, next play tends to work out like fucking crazy, and we rarely ever will have 2 fucking L's in a row. So that's another fucking thing, man. We rarely ever have 2 fucking L's in a row. Hell, if we had 3 fucking L's in a row, oh my gosh, I would size in so fucking big on the next fucking play. Not that you have to trade that way, but just keep that in mind. We rarely ever have 2 fucking L's in a row. 568 puts didn't fucking work out. It was an L. After 6 fucking wins collectively in a fucking row, doesn't fucking matter, man. In terms of the next fucking trade, 2:48 p.m., 576 SPY calls for 66 cents a contract. So if you go to 2:48 p.m. on a 576 calls, 2:48 p.m., right? You're going to see right here. So let's pull it up. So 576 calls. This is where we ended up getting in at 2:48 p.m. And this is the bounce back, man. So we got in right here, as you can see. So in terms of this overall trade, we're in at 66 cents a contract. So we ended up buying towards the low of this 1 minute candle. In just 5 fucking minutes, it went to 140 cents. This small little bump right fucking here is 60 to fucking 140, man. This is the fucking power of trading during power fucking hour, man. It gives you all the fucking power in the world to just print non-fucking stop, man. Look at that. This small little move right here is 60 to fucking 1 fucking 40, right? So in terms of this overall trade, it was absolutely fucking phenomenal. And again, these are the option quote prices moving in real fucking time. So you could have been in at 80 cents at the speed of fucking light. Everybody in our secure private organization knows to have their option chains open and fucking ready, because for whatever fucking reason, when we get in on the fucking trade, the fucking contracts just start exploding like fucking crazy. It's like fucking magic. How the fuck does that happen? So anyways, in terms of, this fucking trade, it just kept on fucking going up. It just kept on fucking printing non-fucking stop, just unlimited fucking printing, just unlimited fucking winning, just, as soon as you get in the fucking trades, just straight fucking line up, like all those fucking portfolios that I fucking showed you. It's basically like this. It's just a straight fucking line up where you're just making fucking money, printing money at the speed of fucking light. It's like, dude, I'm trying to make people rich. I'm trying to get them here to make them rich. It's like, dude, my secure private organization, we need to be making $100,000 a day at the bare fucking minimum. At the bare fucking minimum, we need to be making collectively as a whole $100,000 a day, 25 million at the bare fucking minimum, and then we'll get to 100 fucking million collectively as a fucking whole, man. At the bare fucking minimum, we need to be pulling that, man. With these fucking results, these fucking amount of trades every single fucking day, these percentage gains, people come here with small accounts, run up fucking a couple $100 to fucking thousands of dollars, man. Look at this. Look at this. Fucking woo, man. Fucking woo. Look at the fucking results, man. Fuck, I hope when you're fucking trading, you're going fucking woo. Like, look at the fucking gains, man. Set the fucking profit stop at fucking 2:51 fucking p.m. The contracts are up 100%. Setting the fucking profit stop right here. You're getting profit stopped out right fucking here. The profit stop was set at the fucking peak. Your profit stopped out right the fuck there, man. Are you guys awake yet? Do you understand? Nobody else is fucking doing this on the fucking planet. If you are not fucking in here, you are choosing to sleep and stay fucking broke. And that is your personal fucking choice, man. If you don't want to use the game plans, become self-sufficient, and make fucking money, that's your personal fucking choice, man. You can use the profits that you're fucking making to join the fucking group and print like fucking crazy. If you're not willing to invest into yourself, you're not going to get results, man. You have to invest. You have to invest your time, your energy, and your money into what it is that you're trying to achieve to get fucking results, man. Trading alongside our secure private organization, gaining access to our trades, you're going to see your trade's going to level up like fucking crazy. Who the fuck do you know is printing and winning this fucking much at the speed of fucking light? Nobody. Nobody's fucking printing like us at the speed of fucking light. This is the speed of fucking light. Right fucking here. 60 to fucking 140. These are the, it's all in real fucking time. All fucking real time, man. That's the speed of fucking light. That's what I'm trying to put you on. I'm trying to put you on to the speed of fucking light, man. If you ain't printing at the speed of fucking light, there's no association. I don't want to be involved. I print, I move at the speed of fucking light. You understand? Fucking speed. That's how I fucking move. I want my fucking printing at the speed of fucking light. And I want unlimited fucking printing, and I want unlimited fucking winning. And we want it every single fucking day. And we get it. We get it every single fucking day, man. So, calls went up 74 fucking cents. Massive fucking win. If you go to the next fucking trade, 2:58 p.m., as you can see right here, we ended up buying 569 SPY puts for 66 cents a contract. If you go to 569 puts at 2:58 p.m., you're going to see right here, this is where we ended up getting in on the fucking puts, man. So in terms of this trade, this is where we got in right here. You're going to see right here. So let's go to it. This is where we ended up at 2:58 p.m. You go to 2:58 p.m. right here. This is where we fucking got in at 60 fucking cents. In 3 fucking minutes. 3 fucking minutes. It goes from fucking 60 to fucking 120. How many fucking times in a row do you want me to fucking show you this happening? In 3 fucking minutes, it goes up 100%. In 3 fucking minutes. This is the power of fucking Power Hour, man. In 3 fucking minutes, the trade is going up 100%, man. Are you fucking awake yet? And then your profit stopped out. Your profit stopped out. You gotta be quick, man. You gotta be fucking quick. If you don't have speed, don't fucking trade. If you don't have the speed of light in you, don't fucking trade. If you're not quick with it, option chains open and ready, enter the fucking trade market order, set the fucking profit stop. If you don't have the fucking speed, stay the fuck away from us. We're speed of light. If you don't have the speed in you, stay the fuck away from us. You gotta be fucking quick. You got to be quick with the entry, quick with the fucking profit stop. You got to have your broker set up. You got to have your shit fucking together when you're trading with us, because we print at the speed of fucking light. And there's a lot of high-level fucking people that are fucking watching every fucking move that we're fucking doing, man. You got to be extremely fucking careful, and you got to know what the fuck you're doing when you're fucking in here, man. So, in terms of this trade, went up 100% at the speed of fucking light. That's a massive fucking win. And then in terms of, 569 puts, in a sense, did not overall work out, man. But collectively as a whole, we fucking crushed it. This was an amazing fucking day, man. Like I said, the results I see people getting, man. Look at this. Just trading with this is what I love to see, man. Look at this. SPX trade, just trading with a very small amount of money, not risking much, 130% gain just on one contract, making $158, dude. Like, to be able to make $200 on just one contract, very low risk, it's like, all you need is one contract to get started, man. It's the cheapest, lowest risk, biggest percentage gains. If you can't afford to risk one contract, then just don't trade. If your account's that small, then just don't trade, or just trade for experience and for education, to gain experience and education. But like I said, people ask, like, how much do you need to get started? I'm like, you just need one contract. All you need to trade is one fucking contract. And the prices of the contracts are usually 50 cents and under. Sometimes we'll have trades that are at 100 cents. I mean, in terms of this week, later into the week, the contracts have been a lot more expensive, man. I mean, when you're getting moves like this, the contracts are going to be, so keep this in mind. When we're having big gap ups or big gap downs, and when we're having strong moves like this throughout the day, you need to understand that contract prices are going to be higher. And the way to win big when contracts are higher, you have to hold. You have to hold the fucking trades. But another way is just the time you trade. Trading during Power Hour, when the contract's getting ready to expire worthless and go fucking zero, they'll be a lot cheaper, and they're going to move like fucking crazy, because Power Hour is like one of the most volatile, best times to be trading, right? And it's a lot more predictable in the morning than most cases. Like I said, I traded the morning today because I had a very strategic plan, and the market had an overreaction. For me, as a morning trader, it's probably like twice a week at most, in terms of like with my game plans and massive overreactions like this, when we're having a big gap up or a big gap down correlated with my strategies, with the confirmations. That's when I'm willing to trade during the morning. The reason why I don't like the morning is, there's lack of chart development, there's lack of confirmations. But if we're getting a massive over fucking reaction and bulls or bears are getting fucking trapped, me, I'm all over the fucking traps, man. I'll trap my fucking way to fucking, to fucking hundreds of fucking thousands in terms of these fucking, in terms of these fucking results, hundreds of fucking thousands of dollars every single fucking year in terms of, option contracts. I'll trap at the fucking multiple 100% profit returns every single fucking day, man. So, like I said, man, you got to be aware of those bull and bear traps, and it's best in terms of trading mornings. Just wait for them to get created. There's a big fucking move, right? But I'm telling you, man, when the market changes like this and people don't hold their trades, they get clapped because they pay more. And, when you pay more, you risk more. And to make big gains like this, you really have to hold those trades for longer periods of time. But what makes up for that is if you just wait till they're cheap. During the decay, during Power Hour, you don't have to hold long. You can still make massive fucking gains even if the contracts are high. They can go from fucking 70 to 140 within fucking minutes like you saw, man. So those are all the fucking trades. Now, if you're serious about trading alongside us and gaining access to our secured private organization, it's going to be the first link down below within the description. As you can see, you gain access to my trades, you gain access to our community chat, you gain access to a real-time zero-day options trading alert system led by a multi-millionaire, right? You gain access to the profit section, you gain access to a network of our community of traders that you can network and trade with. I'm telling you, the fucking results and fucking gains are fucking unreal, man. I see it every single day, the same people, the same faces. Once it clicks, once they get it right, the results are fucking there, man. It's not by accident that someone's up 500% consistently within just the year. And we're only into the 3rd month of the year, man. Just trading like 2 fucking months to counts up over 500 fucking percent, man. You tell me, is that worth the investment of figuring out how to do that, man? Like I said, a new member right here, 68% return on the contracts, $64. You can do very, very well with a small account, gain a lot of experience, gain, a lot of education trading alongside us, man. So You gain access to our secure private organization. You gain access to our community, extremely active community, right? You gain access to our real-time zero-day option trade alert system. Gain access to my trades as well. Gain access to the profit section. You get to print and trade with us at the speed of fucking light. And I'm telling you, our format works for many, many traders. We have hundreds of traders who've been with us now for nearly 2 years. And it's just unlimited fucking printing and unlimited fucking winning, non-fucking stop, man. Like I said, the people who figure out how to benefit from our format, they print like fucking crazy. Don't expect it to happen overnight. You need to understand the way we trade in this fucking system, we do the complete opposite of what everybody else is doing. We ain't just buying and selling. There's no stop losses. There's a max risk per trade with the R multiple, risk management 101. There's setting the profit stops. There's moving the profit stops up higher. There's adding to the winners. We're doing the complete opposite of what everybody else is doing. There's buying the second strike when there's a dead play instead of adding to the fucking dead play. There's a lot to know and there's a lot to learn and there's a lot of rewiring to do within the brain when you trade with us, because you're going to see the way we trade is the complete opposite on the way how everybody else's trades. And we're known for holding our trades for the biggest percentage gains. We're known for holding our winners and buying the cheapest, lowest risk option contracts that are also designed to not only print like crazy, but not far enough to go in the money as well. But not far enough to where they can't go in the money as well, right? So we're known for buying far the money. We're known for selling deep in the money with the runners. And very, very cheap, very, very low risk. And in terms of these trades, if they expire, worthless, go to zero, the most we lose is what we put in. What we put in is our max risk per trade. If we put in more, we quickly set the profit stop to protect, adding to the overall winners with that new average cost, right? When we're down on a dead play, when a dead play, like you saw in yesterday's video, in terms of this week, there was many dead plays that dropped like 50 to 90%, but we didn't get stopped out. And even though they dropped 90% on the trade and we didn't get stopped out and we traded the fucking trend, they still went up multiple 100%. Despite the timing not being 100%, despite not getting the best fucking entry, the trade still went up multiple 100%, even though the contract dropped 90%. Wow, it's a good thing we didn't use a stop loss, because why would we want to get stopped out in that situation, right? I mean, if I'm down fucking 90%, why the fuck would I cut a trade? To get that 10% that's in there? That fucking 10% can go up multiple 100% profit returns. It doesn't make fucking sense to cut a trade when it's down that fucking much. Why would I try to preserve that overall capital if it's down that much? And if my max risk per trade is my entire position size when I'm down on an overall fucking play, why the fuck would I cut the fucking play? I could just hold it, let the contracts expire worthless and go to zero, and I have the entire day for the contracts to go green and set that profit stop and add to the fucking winners to increase the fucking winning increase the fucking winning and to add to the winners and to increase the position sizing and to increase the gains, and then setting that profit stop to protect the new average cost, right? There's reasons why we tend to add to winners and not to fucking losers. Adding to winners works best, and in terms of the system when setting that profit stop works best, and you got to use it when you're adding to the fucking winners. When we're down big on a play, 50-90% percentage wise, right? You can just buy a second fucking strike, much better entry time, much better. Make the biggest percentage gains, and the play before that comes back to life 70% of the time. When we are down on a trade 50% plus, that's a dead play. 70% of the time, it comes back to life. Therefore, there's no fucking point in reason, if you were to calculate the math behind that as well, to set a fucking stop loss. It makes no fucking sense. Just let it expire worthless and go to fucking zero. We rarely ever sell for a loss, and we never set stop losses. We do set profit stops to ensure that we don't go green to red. We move the profit stop up higher to ensure that we don't get back the bulk of our gains. If there's a big pullback against our overall win, we do add to winners to increase the winning. And like I said, the trick with adding to winners instead of losers is when we quickly add to a winners, we're already green. So our average cost tends to go up a little bit, or it can just stabilize in a sense. And then we set the profit stop to protect that new average cost. One small move in our favor. And when we're up 15% plus, tends to be a massive fucking win. There's reasons why we add to our winners. Like I said, when we're up a little bit, we tend to be up a lot of bit, which is why we focus as well on adding to the fucking winners, increasing that position size, setting the profit stop protects it, it secures it. And then you get stopped out for profits, move the profit stop up higher to protect the bulk of your gains, sell runners deep in the money. You don't have to attach all of your runners to your profit stop, right? So just giving you some background to the overall system, in terms of this fucking week, if you've been paying attention to all the fucking lessons, I mean, if you've been in our fucking group, I would hope every single fucking person in here made at least $500 to multiple 100% profit returns. I mean, this fucking week. I mean, I hope if you use last night's game plan, at the bare minimum, you should have made at least a couple $100, man, to thousands of dollars. It depends on how much you're trading with as well and how well you trade the game plan, right? So, look, man, if you're serious about making money and surrounding yourself in a secure private organization that prints non-fucking stop, I'm telling you, there's nothing out there like this available within the market. This is chosen. We are the ones. I'm trying to bring you into the light, and I'm trying to show you something real, something that's working for many, many people. It's not going to work out for everyone, and if trading's not for you, then that's completely fine. You just cancel the subscription. So, is the first link down below in the description. We have the highest retention rate in terms of our industry, man, retention tends to be like 25%, usually like 25% people cancel. In terms of us, 90% of our members choose to stay every single month. Only 10% cancel because they see the value, they get results, they gain experience, they grow. And then if it comes to a day where they realize trading's not for them, then they could just leave if they like. But I'm telling you, man, many people stick with it and they see it through. Like DF, man, it took him over a year to really get to this level, man. At first, he was not making these results and gains, man. He was losing money at first, and that's how trading tends to go. I mean, especially if you're trying something new. Like this is a new overall system. If you just join, it's new to you. It's not new to the overall market. Like in terms of this secure private organization, this has been around for 2 years. In terms of my educational company that is responsible for, creating all of this and, getting all of this together, that's been around since 2017. So it's the first link down below within the description, man. You're going to see we have over a decade of experience, and you're just going to see, man, there's just nothing out there like this, man. I'm telling you, put yourself onto this, try it out, apply yourself, right? Join if you're going to apply yourself. If you're going to apply yourself, you're here to get results, you're here to level up, right? You're going to really put the work in, then this is for you, man. But if you just want to try to blindly follow and be lazy and stuff like that, I would sway away from this, man. Join if you really want to level up. You could become self-sufficient. You can see us as well applying our game plans in real time. That's another way you're going to level up. You can see how we create the game plans, and then you could see us take action on the game plans in real time. In terms of G-Roar, he typically drops his game plan every single morning. It fluctuates in terms of the time. Sometimes it's early at like 9 a.m. before the market opens. Sometimes it's at like 10 a.m. or 10:30 a.m. And then very rarely there's not a game plan, but you could use mine as well. So there's 2 game plans in a sense. But like I said, man, there's key levels, where to go long, where to go short, and you get to see us apply our strategies and our game plans in real time. Trading alongside us, you gain a lot of experience, right? You trade alongside experienced traders, you gain more experience. You fuse with the right traders, you gain more of a sense of confidence and awareness within the overall market, man. I mean, if you're not fucking confident, don't fucking trade. I mean, at first you're not gonna be confident, but once you get confident, you have to be confident within your abilities to trade and to make money, man. Once it clicks, once you see it, once it starts to stick, you'll gain a lot more fucking confidence, man. That's very important to have confidence within the overall market, man. If you don't have that confidence and you're feeling like shaky, it's really going to fuck up your trading, man. So I'm telling you, if you want to gain experience, confidence, open up your third eye, gain that awareness, get fucking results, surround yourself with a secure private organization who's serious about, being the best 0-day options trading alert company out there, giving the best fucking trades, giving many, many fucking wins, creating the best system that yields the biggest results, the biggest percentage gains. The gains are so fucking big, the win rate doesn't matter, man. Do you understand? Every single fucking day, there tends to be a 200% return in here. With a 200 fucking percent return, you could be fucking profitable with a fucking 33% win rate. That's at break even, man. You could have 2 fucking losses in a row, 1 fucking 200% win, and you're break even with a 200% win, man. In terms of Team Roar, this is the highest win rate you're ever going to see with far the money 0-day options contracts, and you're going to see some days it fluctuates. Like I said, some days we have a dozen trades. In terms of today, we had 11 fucking trades, 9 for fucking 11. Other days, there's only a couple trades. It fluctuates. We adapt and we fluctuate with the market. The market's been on fucking fire this week. The moves have been fucking crazy. Of course, there's going to be a fuck ton of trades when we're buying far the money option contracts. But if the market is just like stabilizing and not doing fucking much and shopping, then when it comes to buying far the money option contracts, we're going to be trading less. We're going to adapt. We adapt accordingly, man. It varies. But every single day there tends to be at least 2 to 4 trades, like at least 3 trades, I would say, every single day. And then some days we have 10 fucking trades. With 10 trades, you can run up 1,000% plus at the speed of fucking light, man. You can change your fucking life within a single fucking week inside of this group. There's people coming here with a couple $100s. They run up to thousands of dollars by the end of the fucking week, and then they reset, they restart. They come in with like fucking 500 in their account. They flip it to fucking 1,500 to 2,500 to fucking 2,500 by the end of the fucking week on a big week like this, and then they restart with 500. There's a lot of different strategies you can do. You don't just have to try to compound your account. Like I said, in terms of actually growing the account, there's a lot of strategies you can do. Now, I do encourage you to cash out every single week on Friday to at least take out something, man. But there's some people, they have $10,000. They only trade with like $500. Think of it as like a $500 account where they have a, $9,500 cushion. They only trade with like $500, and then every single week they can run that 500 on a good week. They can run it up to a couple $1,000. On a bad week, they lose the fucking 500. But the risk to reward in the percentage gains always fucking outweighs it. And you're going to see the win rate does not matter, man. Far the money option contracts give you unlimited fucking options within the stock market. They give you the most options. Cheap, low risk, don't need a stop loss. Biggest percentage gains, don't need a size big, don't need a stop loss. Do need to set the profit stops to secure the overall profits. Do need to add to winners to increase the fucking wins. I'm telling you, we've got a system that works, and it works for many people. If you'd like to experience and trade alongside us and grow with us, it's the first link down below within the description if you'd like to join. And I do encourage you as well to be self-sufficient, use our game plans to our advantage as well, make your own trades, and then trade alongside us. Take the trades that you like as well, trade with the overall system. A lot of people use our trades as confirmations within the overall game plans. You need to understand, man, our game plans, the accuracy is fucking crazy. But the people who tend to trade the best in terms of the game plans are the traders who create the fucking plans and the one who have the most experience, right? With trading and creating the overall plans. Like I said, we have over a decade experience. So I'm telling you, like, you could try to trade our game plans by yourself and be self-sufficient, and that's great. Just understand, man, there's people out there who are creating the plans. They have a lot more experience, and they're likely going to trade it a lot more better, man. When it comes down to trading, who's got the best fucking trades? But self-sufficiency is important. Do not try to blindly follow. You can use this in many ways to level up within your trading. If you are serious about making money, this is the group for you. It's the first link down below within the description. You come in here, you're going to see multimillionaires printing fucking money nonstop. You're going to see winning in green days non-fucking stop. It's going to blow you away on what the fuck is going on with the system we have. No stop losses, setting the fucking profit stops, unlimited fucking winning, man. And this is what I love to do, man. This is what I genuinely love to do. This is my skill set. This is what I love to do. You know, I love to make money, and I love to also teach people how it is that I'm making money. And it could be kind of like a competition. If I'm teaching people how I do what I do, well, who's going to be the fucking best to do it? Is someone going to come along and then eventually they become better than fucking me? I mean, it's interesting to see, man, but that's what I love doing. I enjoy making money, I enjoy trading, and I enjoy teaching. And what I'm teaching is curriculum that I've created. This is how I think. This is how I view the market. I didn't learn this from other people. It's crazy. If you go back throughout the history of my channel, there's this strategy. It's called the breakout and retest. I didn't even fucking know the name of that fucking strategy. I didn't even know that that fucking existed. I just made it up by looking at the fucking charts. I just realized, and if you go back and you watch the videos when I first started, I used to say previous resistance has a breakout, drops back down to react to support. And then I started to see online, just doing some simple research, just hearing things. I'm connected with a lot of traders as well. But like I said, I really just focus on my craft, thinking for myself, creating my own systems, right? But I started hearing breakout and retest. I'm like, oh shit, this fucking exists. Like some of the stuff that I've created and figured out, it's already out there. People have already figured out. And then there's other things that I've truly created that nobody speaks about, nobody talks about. In terms of one of those things, like my main foundation that I realized that nobody really, like in terms of something that I've truly created and made very big within the overall market, like I said, this led to creating Team Roar, man. In terms of like my educational company, the foundation of that was this strategy. I was teaching people a strategy, and it was so much more than this, but this was the foundation. This was like the main piece of the overall company that we were focusing on, was this like gap close reversal trading strategy, where we would identify once a gap closes, will the SPY have a reversal? And I started making systems on identifying if it's going to have a reversal or not. And that fucking strategy was like it's like the best fucking strategy on the fucking planet from a technical view. Like I said, I used it today at 570, man. It's a very interesting story, man. Like I said, I started an educational company off that. Thousands of people joined it, and I'm telling you, people got a lot of fucking results, and a lot of fucking other groups got created off of that, and they're using the fucking information that I fucking taught them, and a lot of them don't give me any fucking credit. It's fucking crazy what's going on, man. Some people don't fucking appreciate in terms of what you do for them, man. But I'm telling you, man, look, if you're a good fucking person, if you're grateful, you appreciate, in terms of what people do and all the effort we put in, and you want to gain results, you want to level up, I'm telling you, this is a very positive community. It's a secure private organization. And this is, in terms of what we currently offer, this is all we're offering at this time. At this point in time, we're currently just offering Team Roar. It's a monthly recurring subscription. You can get started today and get fucking results, level up, learn, and gain experience. Just understand it's going to take time, man. It's going to fucking take time. I mean, like, look at this. This system, think about how long it took to create a system like this, right? It took over a fucking decade, man. Like, if you think you're just gonna come in here and master this fucking system with us, you could think differently. I mean, obviously, if you have more experience trading and you're already self-sufficient in a sense, well, yeah, you're more likely to just really level up quick. But if you're more of a beginner, it's going to take time, man. But at the end of the day, this is education. This isn't just alerts. This is a system. This is education. And you can do what you want in terms of with this overall, education to apply it to your trading. And then you get results. You can tell your friends. You can tell your family about it. I'm telling you, man, we're turning the fucking iPhone into a money printing machine. It's like a fucking human ATM fucking machine, man. Like, look at this. Literally within the chat, I'm trading on my fucking phone. I mean, I prefer to trade on my phone or on my fucking laptop, right? I could trade very well on my phone or just a small MacBook. That's all I fucking need to trade, man. Because in terms of my curriculum and the way I trade and the asset class I'm trading, it's very, very fucking simple, man. It's very simple. All you need is you don't need 20 fucking charts. Like, this is very simple. If you plan accordingly and you have your option chains open and ready, like, I'm literally operating all of this from my fucking phone, man. All this analysis, everything, like even the screenshots, that was from my fucking phone. Like today I was trading on my phone. Sometimes I trade on my MacBook. That's what I would recommend, just a laptop or a fucking phone. You really don't need more than that to complicate things. It's just not necessary, man. Like G-Roar always trades on a MacBook. Always trading on a MacBook, man. In terms of laptops, that's what I prefer as well, a MacBook. But yeah, man. Like I said, man, in terms of like those screenshots I was posting, like look, this is all from my fucking phone. This is the Thinkorswim app on my fucking phone in terms of just showing people what it is that I see and the reasoning on why I'm in on these fucking calls, right? So it's the first link down below within the description. If you'd like to join us and trade alongside us, I'm telling you, man, Friday, it's going to be a phenomenal day, man. You've seen every single day we've been green this week, and the gains have been fucking insane. You add up all those percentage gains, could have easily been over 5,000%, man. You see the same faces coming back, posting their profits, getting fucking results. It's real. It works. We print at the speed of fucking light, and that's how we print at the speed of fucking light. Consistent big wins, non-stop winning, in many fucking wins, unlimited fucking winning, man. So look, Friday's going to be a phenomenal fucking day. You want to trade alongside us, get started now. It's the first link down below within the description. I will see you guys tomorrow within the chat. We're going to fucking crush it.